Inside Southeastern Baseball with Matt Reiser on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network, presented by LA's First Choice Auto Auction. It's your chance to hear directly from the head of Lion Baseball. Now, from Black and Brew in downtown Hammond, here's Alan Waddell.
Success in the Southeastern baseball program are terms that seem to go hand in hand. The Lions have been to the NCAA Regionals 3 out of the last 6 years and have also collected a couple of conference championship rings during that time as well, under the leadership of Matt Reiser. Matt has piled up 227 wins in his 6 years at the helm of the Lions, and after an inconsistent 2019 campaign, the Lions look to get back to championship prominence and back to the NCAA tournament. Southeastern opened their season this weekend on the road against a couple of in-state opponents in Lafayette. Opening night, Southeastern used a dominating pitching performance by Trey Schaefer and Will Warren and got a big 3-run homer from newcomer Brandon Hale to knock off the 24th-ranked Ragin' Cajuns in Lafayette. Saturday, Southeastern and Louisiana Tech locked into a pitcher's duel before eventually falling 2-0 to the Bulldogs, who went 3-0 on the weekend. Southeastern will now play UL Lafayette on Tuesday night in Hammond to open up the home schedule. Good afternoon, Lion fans. I'm Alan Waddell, and I want to welcome you to Inside Southeastern Baseball with Matt Reiser, live from our home, Black and Brew, right here in downtown Hammond. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you may be this afternoon, whether listening on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network or watching us live through YouTube on the Southeastern Sports Network. We're going to be with you until 1 o'clock, and over the next hour, we're going to introduce you to the 2020 Southeastern Lions, break down the couple of games from this past weekend, and we'll give you the scout report for this week as Southeastern has 4 big home games right here in Hammond on the schedule. Let's take a break. When we come back, I'm going to be joined by the head baseball coach of your Southeastern Lions, Matt Reiser. Inside Southeastern Baseball with Matt Reiser is presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Black and Brew on the Southeastern Sports Network.
The countdown to Katy has begun. The Southland Conference Basketball Tournament at the Merrill Center in Katy, Texas. Experience it live as Southland strong teams compete for a tournament title and a chance to go to the dance. It's affordable family fun and great college hoops action. Tickets for the Southland Conference Basketball Tournament are on sale through school ticket offices and Ticketmaster.com.
What's up, Lion fans? It's Nate Big Easy Lofton of the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters and also Southeastern Louisiana University. Can't wait to be back home March 12th in the University Center. Can't wait to see you there. Line up.
All right, welcome back. We're live here at Black and Brew in downtown Hammond. This is Inside Southeastern Baseball, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction. I'm Alan Waddell. At this time, we're going to welcome to the show the head baseball coach of your Southeastern Lions, Coach Matt Reiser. Coach, thanks for being here. We're glad to be back at Black and Brew this year for lunch. We did this a year ago. It worked out really well. We have a great crowd on hand here today. And I know that the season's already started. You got off to a 1-1 start this past weekend, but a lot of baseball from here on out. Long season ahead of us, and I know your team was super excited to get ready to play this weekend and then get ready for the season.
Yeah, a big thank you to Anthony and Matt having us back. I guess we didn't aggravate him too much last year, so great food. Obviously, the noon start for us, lunchtime crowd is pleasurable for us. We got a lot of people that show up, and then obviously for my family, man, I get a chance to spend a little family time on Monday night. So, open up the season, man. Again, another Challenging schedule, open up the right way. There's when you do the schedule stuff, it's always you kind of tinker a little bit with the RPI, but you got to play your fair share of road games and home games, and the way this one kind of worked out, we had the schedule done. I think it was almost 2 or 3 years ago. And then 3 months before season started, it unraveled. Obviously, La Tech didn't have a stadium, so we're trying to figure out how to return the home series. Luckily enough, ULL had their situation. So it turned out to be a really, really neat deal, man, especially with everything going on with Rubber Show for the weekend and being back in that stadium. And be a part of that was something bigger than baseball for sure.
Matt, certainly, when you look at a year ago and the team last year, got off to a slow start and you tried to dig yourself out of the hole. You did that, put yourself back in contention, had an opportunity to win the conference championship, got bounced in the conference tournament. But I know a year ago when we would talk, it was inconsistent. We played great one weekend, wouldn't play great. I know that this team, you have a lot of returners. You have a lot of pieces that you added that you're really excited about. And this team looks to have all the pieces to get right back where you want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the neat part about this and all the preseason stuff and preseason talk, we talk about how much last year was such a down year, but yet we play for a championship at the end of the year, at the last game of the season.
Just the expectations are high.
Exactly, and I think that's what's so neat about what we've created in our culture and around our program. And I'll see, that's from an outsider standpoint, it's even greater inside. I'll see from a coaching perspective and from a player's perspective, it is. It's kind of a boom or bust if we're not in regionals and doing our deal year in and year out. So we graduated a good core, brought in a lot of new guys, 23 new faces, but also returned a really nice core as well. So position player-wise, had 5 guys that returned there that were had a bulk of what we did offensively, and then on the mound returned a really nice core. Guys who all had to take a step forward, but also out the gate, Trey Schaefer, Will Warren, Justin Simonak, and Grant Upton all had really, really nice weekends to kind of set that precedent that pitching staff can be a force to be reckoned with.
Matt, certainly the people that pay attention to your program know about the adversity that has taken place in the offseason with some of your coaching staff and Coach Mamu and what's going on with him. But for those that maybe aren't aware, tell everyone kind of what's going on and where we're at right now and what Coach's status is at this point.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough that Coach Gibson was able to jump in and kind of help us out. Jay was fortunate enough or helpful enough to allow Gip to do that. Hey, we understand what's going on with Mamu. Let's insert another guy in there who's familiar with the program, familiar with the guys, and also really good at what he does. So in the same sense, he just had a baby last Tuesday or whatever it was. So he's staying busy with the baby back at home. And then Mamu, man, I just can't say enough good things about him. He's a special human being. He's one of a kind. I mean, they literally try to cut him in half on Tuesday, and he's there in the dugout Friday night. I've got a jumpsuit waiting on him to kind of sit on the bench, and he's looking at me like, nah, Coach, you serious? Nah, Brandon's got my uniform. He's there every single pitch this weekend side by side. And so, I'll see you deal with adversity. Every program deals with it, and some is a little bit more deeper than others, but I think it's really grown a great appreciation for our players, and they truly appreciate every day they get to get out there and get after it.
I know that you certainly, going into the season, an area that needed to be better was the consistency on the mound. And you have some guys that are returning that I thought this weekend, obviously you look at it, you gave up, 4 runs on the weekend. So you really pitched it well in 2 games against 2 quality opponents in UL Lafayette and Louisiana Tech. Offensively, we saw a couple of lineups. We're going to talk about both games here coming up in our next segment or so. But you played a bunch of different guys this weekend. Again, this is the time of the year where you're trying to figure out who that everyday nine is going to be.
Yeah, I think we got some versatility offensively. I think we're athletic and we're physical to be able to run out some different lineups. I thought the freshmen did a really good job of handling themselves. Jacob Burke and Christian Garcia got the start there on Saturday and did a really good job. Champ Artigues is technically a freshman. He's a redshirt freshman. He obviously has a year of college ball underneath his belt. But I thought they did a really nice job of handling themselves in a really big game environment. Friday night was about as rowdy as it gets.
Yeah.
Obviously extremely emotional with being back in the stadium without Coach Robe. All the ceremonial stuff they had going on this weekend. There was a lot of distractions that could have easily got away from us. And I thought our guys did a really good job of keeping themselves in check. I thought they did a good job of just kind of playing the game. And also you saw that there with Trey Schaefer and Will Warren on Friday night, like we talked about with that staff. I think all the pieces are there, and obviously we'll figure it out with a really nice non-conference tough schedule here early.
This week, Lions are going to take on UL Lafayette on Tuesday night right here in Hammond, and then play Jacksonville for a 3-game series in Hammond as well. So you have 4 opportunities this week to come out to the Pat and watch some baseball. Hopefully our weather cooperates. It looks like pretty well if you look at the early forecast. So hopefully that plays out, because we've had some really good weather. It's been a kind of an unseasonably warm period going into the season, and I know that's good for you, because a lot of places across the country, they're trying to get ready for college baseball, and they're inside gyms and things like that. That's one of the benefits you have in playing in South Louisiana.
Yep, adaptability, baby. We'll adapt.
No doubt. As the Lions open up their season this past week against UL Lafayette and then Louisiana Tech on Friday and Saturday, let's go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we'll get Matt to break down those couple of games for us, as we're just getting it started right here on Inside Southeastern Baseball with Matt Reiser, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Black & Brew on the Southeastern Sports Network.
What do you love most about being a student athlete at Southeastern?
So I chose Teammates for Life because on our golf team, nobody's from the same spot, but the friendships we've made once we graduate, I know we'll always be friends, we'll always see each other, we'll always come back and visit.
The Southland Conference, 13 member institutions, over 4,200 student athletes, achieving success in the classroom while excelling in 19 NCAA Division I sports and making a difference through serving others and giving back to the community. Determination, hard work, commitment, excellence, and collaboration. Together, we are Southeastern!
All right, welcome back. Just getting started here on Inside Southeastern Baseball with Matt Reiser, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction. We're live at Black & Brew. We're going to be here from 12 to 1 every Monday afternoon during the baseball season. If you can't join us, you can always listen on the network and also go to YouTube. This is something that's very exciting that's going on this year for Southeastern Athletics, is the Southeastern Sports Network. All of our coaches' shows, all of our home athletic events are going to be streamed right there on the Southeastern Sports Network. You can go to YouTube. You just type in Southeastern Sports Network in the search box, and it comes up right there at your own channel, and you can watch all these games live. And they're also on demand, so you can go back and listen or watch games as well. The staff, the athletic department staff, has done a great job with that. Matt, I know that just kind of talking about the network, that's big for you as well. I'm sure with recruiting and your players' families that are out of town. I mean, all these home games are going to be streamed, and it's a great quality. If you hadn't had an opportunity to watch one of these streams, they're great. I mean, you think about ESPN3 and ESPN Plus and all these streaming services. This is as good as that, if not better. The quality is outstanding. Audio, visually, it's really a tremendous addition to our athletic department.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you how good it is the first time I get ejected and have to watch it on there. So I'll let you know how good it really is. But no, we're fortunate to have that. Also, I think the video stuff's becoming more and more prevalent. I mean, we've got video breaking down left and right, so to be able to have this and help us break down for scouting reports and also develop our guys, I think is huge too.
Matt, you alluded to it a couple of times during our first segment about the emotion that took place over in Lafayette at UL. Coach Robichaux obviously had his life taken. I mean, he was kind of seemed like it might be a routine thing, and he goes in and it just shows you, what's going on. It's been a crazy, I guess, 12 months for baseball in South Louisiana for a lot of these programs. But Coach Robichaux was obviously one of the greats to ever do it. I know he had a tremendous impact on South Louisiana baseball and what he's done at UL Lafayette and getting those guys to Omaha and things to that nature. But for you personally, what was your relationship like with him? I know this was a team that you played every year, and I'm sure you knew him quite well.
Yeah, very professional relationship. I think the one thing I've tried to obviously let the guys know for Friday night, it was going to be extremely emotional on so many different levels. And obviously, Mamu shows up in the dugout with that going on. It actually ended up being the 2-year anniversary of my mom's passing. Yeah. So just all rolled into one. So I said the biggest thing is, obviously keep the emotions in check. I mean, don't ride the roller coaster with it. But Robe, he's as iconic to me for Louisiana baseball as Skip Burtman. He's as iconic as Ron Polk. He would genuinely tell you every time at home plate, hey, man, good luck to you and good luck to your men. And every time he said it, he was genuine in it, man. He really wanted you to play your best game. He wanted his club to play their best game and the best man win. And I think he thoroughly enjoyed watching those kids going out and enjoy a kid's game.
I thought it was a very nice testament on your team as well to wear the hats with number 36. So talk about how that came about. And, I mean, was that something Coach Deggs and you put together? Or is that
obviously Coach Deggs and I have a very nice relationship, obviously, with his time there at Sam Houston State.
We wish him the best of luck now that he's out of our conference.
Yeah, absolutely. So we discussed and say, hey, man, whatever we could do to honor Robe and help. Obviously, we're going to be there for the first game of the season, and whatever we can do, let me know. I said, we got these hats with 36 on it. I said, all right, we'll jump in, we'll do our deal. And I thought our guys did a fantastic job of honoring Coach Robe. At the end of the day, we told them, hey, man, stay home, we'll play hard, and that's the best way you can honor Coach Robe, and they did that there Friday night.
Matt, let's talk about Game 1 of the season. And I know that for 2 years, you've been so high on what Trey Schaefer brings to the table. I know when you signed him, you said, hey, look, this guy's a difference maker. He's a guy that can get us to the next level. He's been trying to play two positions. He's been trying to pitch and play in the outfield in the offseason. Your staff and him got together and decided he's going to go to pitcher only. And, the stuff's been there. And sometimes command maybe wasn't there, but he showed what kind of ability he has on this night. This is a good offensive club that he faced in UL Lafayette. He had 10 punch-outs in this game. Talk about that decision, first of all, to just go to pitcher only, and then his performance in Game 1.
Yeah, this is actually something Trey brought to the table. Obviously he's extremely athletic and can do both. I mean, he was a good outfielder, had some pop with a left-handed bat. You just really didn't know where coming out of high school what route would actually be determined. But very similar to Kyle Sedetall. The year we had to switch him over to junior year to, hey, man, basically a PO. We did the same thing with Trey and kind of explained how Sedetall's progression came from that. And that, man, he might have a future after college if he concentrated just on this one deal. So he was all bought in, sold out for it. I think the proudest thing, though, for Trey, man, he has done a fantastic job of just maturing as an individual. He's understood of what he needs to do to take care of his business. He's committed to it, and, man, to see him go out there and have that success there Friday night, I wasn't shocked at all. I actually expected it because just the amount of time he's put into it and effort he's put into it.
He was outstanding. 5 1/3, only gave up 2 hits, struck out 10. And then when he exited the ball game, you brought in Will Warren. Will Warren was obviously a weekend starter for you a year ago. But you only played 2 games this week. So talk about, is he still, considered a weekend starter, or is this maybe going to be his role? Well, talk about that decision. I know that it was a little different this week because only 2 games instead of 3.
Yeah. The 2 games definitely helped us kind of make that decision. But also we had a few injuries there in the preseason. Had one in the bullpen that happened on Tuesday too. Had Kyle Fletridge had surgery there Tuesday, non-related to the throwing arm. So that bullpen was a little bit lighter and a little bit less experienced. So also made the decision early to, hey, man, you're going to kind of come out of the bullpen. He also got the flu last week. So it was one of those, we didn't really want to extend him to 80, 90 pitches, maybe 100 pitches, try to get his strength back, and then obviously go from there. So kind of all of it rolled into one. The neat part about this that I like is, we get the conference tournament time, and we've done this a few in the past years. 14 when we won it, we brought Andro back, and then Tate came back, the number 2 starter, and finished off the game. Now we've already done it. We don't have to wait to the conference championship to do that. So if that's a possibility, we get there, to the championship game, we bring Schaefer back, then Warren's already done it. He doesn't have to wait to the championship game to be the first time to go out there and doing it.
Let's talk about your lineup a little bit. You obviously get the big 3-run homer in this game from Brandon Hale. He's a newcomer, playing right field for you, and that's really the only offense you needed in this game is you got 3 runs on that one swing, and we're able to win this game 3-2. But, you had to replace some guys. Cody Gross isn't here anymore, so you played a couple of different shortstops this week. Obviously, Brendan Bro, he seemed like he'd been playing for us for 10 years. He's gone as well. And Champ, RT's filled in and playing second base, and, it just seems right to have an RT's playing for Southeastern. Now, he didn't need to be playing for Louisiana Tech. We're certainly glad he's back playing second base for your club. But you're breaking in some new guys, and in the middle infield, that's certainly important, and especially when you're playing a couple of different shortstops throughout the weekend.
Yeah, well, it was all up the middle. Obviously Connor started there Friday night, but then Keller starts there behind a dish on Saturday, and then this is just a testament to Coach Donnelly and Coach Caswell and Coach Gipp of what they did recruiting-wise. They did a really nice job of going to find some very athletic and versatile guys. So we take Tyler Finke out of center field. We move him to shortstop. He's a shortstop from the junior college ranks, but blazing speed out in center field as well. So Nick Ray's ability, what he's done defensively, it's easy to slide him over to center field. So we're allowed to rest the catching position if we need to and want to. And that's kind of what, when you look at Connor and the kind of way he broke down at the end of the year last year, and pretty much every year with any of our catchers, we've tried to keep them fresh as possible. So that'll give us some that versatility to be able to do it and not lose a beat. We'll still be just as good defensively.
Yeah, Connor Manola, he caught a lot of ball games last year as a freshman. So, he spent a lot of time back there behind the plate. He caught one game this weekend, did not catch there on Saturday. But, offensively, I know if you look at the weekend as a whole, I know we're kind of talking about Friday night. We talked about the big home run. But offensively, just sometimes early in the year it takes a little while to get going. And I thought offensively both teams, all 3 teams really took a little while to get going offensively in this weekend.
Yeah, and I think part of it you credit to the pitching. I mean, the guy we saw Friday night had about as good a sink as you're going to find. It's a big league pitch, and it's at 90 to 94. And those guys, you just got to kind of battle in there, stay in there on until you get the bullpen. And we did that and then got the big hit there on Friday night. Saturday was a lot of similarity to Friday. We had some opportunities early. We didn't get the big hit. And really that's just the difference. At the end of the day, in the 8th inning, they got the big knock, and we didn't get the big hit. So I think the offense is going to come. There's some things we want to do a little bit more pressure-wise, more aggressive-wise, but we've also got to get some guys on base to be able to do that a little bit more.
Talk about a couple of these freshmen. I know that Jacob Burke is a young man that you started on Friday in the designated hitter role. I know somebody you've been really excited about. I know when you signed him, you said, "Oh man, this is a dude." Yeah. And he played at University High. He was a 2-sport player. I know he's an outstanding football player as well. So he's got those tough physical skills as well. But talk about him. I know he penciled in, got his first hit on Friday night as well.
Yeah, excited about it, man. He's just a competitor, and like you said, he's a football guy. He likes to smack you in the mouth. If you wouldn't watch him in a football game, he just kind of rover in the field and looking for the football, looking for the next guy to hit, and he's very similar like that as a baseball player, man. He's looking for the next opportunity to punch in the mouth, and I thought he did a good job Friday night and Saturday handling those situations of getting the start at the DH as a true freshman. The moment wasn't too big. He's played a lot of big games, both in baseball and football. So, I think he gives a really nice look there because, he's got the balance of being physical. He can run the ball out of the yard, but can run a little bit too, as he had a stolen base there on Saturday.
I know a few of the returners that you're certainly counting on that had good years a year ago, but they're kind of asked more now to be the guys. Right. Some of those seniors are gone, but Preston Faulkner obviously had a really good year a year ago. Trey Harrington as well, and then Nick Ray. Those guys, those are kind of your pieces that were there a year ago, hitting in the middle of the order a lot of the season. They're going to have to be big. If you're going to be successful this year, I know that core group of those guys are certainly going to have to be big and drive in some runs.
Yeah, absolutely. Those we talked about, they've got to take the step forward because they are the main core that came back, and they've got to do a good job of getting on base and taking that step forward for us for this offense to go, just because they've got so much experience there. But I think we still have some versatility of some other guys, if they don't do it, that we can plug in. I think we're still looking at 12 to 13 guys that can be in that lineup. So if they do get in a slump or, kind of get in a funk a little bit, we can give them a day or two off and kind of let them get out of it and get back and going. And I think that was what we lacked maybe last year offensively, It was funny. I actually had a conversation this morning. Somebody's like, "Hey, man, y'all got off to a great start offensively last year. Look what you finished. And maybe it's the flip side of this." I like that. The fact that we only started out with maybe 2 runs or 3 runs in 2 games. Not what you wanted for opening weekend, but it's a long season, man, and they got to continue to develop and they work hard. I think that's the
and the opportunities were there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. For me, I think the neatest thing about this, or the best thing about this, is this is a group that loves to work and loves to compete. So those things were there Friday night. Those things were there Saturday. It wasn't a lack of energy. It wasn't a lack of effort. It wasn't a lack of focus. So I think that gets me fired up because the success is going to come for doing that.
Matt, before we get off of these first couple of games against UL and Louisiana Tech, I got to get you to talk about Grant Upton. Going into the year, I think from a fan's perspective, the first couple of things you ask yourself is, okay, who's going to be starting? What's the lineup?
Right. And
who's pitching on the weekends?
Yep.
And, we saw, obviously, Trey Schaefer, he runs out there on Friday night. You run out Grant Upton on Saturday. Is that your thought? Is he going to be a weekend starter for you this year?
Yeah, I thought Grant's done a really nice job of locating the fastball, and I thought it was a great matchup just watching Tech a little bit. They had a few new guys in lineup. They're very similar to what we have. They've got 4 or 5 core returners, and then have a few freshmen they've sprinkled in there in the backside of the lineup. So I thought if he could command the fastball, I thought we were going to have a really good shot. I thought he had a really nice summer over in the TCL in Baton Rouge, where he commanded the fastball both sides of the plate. Really did a really nice job of developing that changeup, and that was a separator for him there on Saturday. I thought that's what really kept those lefties off balance. Last year we could go with a slider against the right-handers, and really, if we didn't locate the fastball against lefties, we were kind of stuck. Did a fantastic job of developing that third pitch and really turned himself into a starter. So you'll see him a lot in the rotation. Obviously, the midweeks are just as tough, if not tougher than the weekend. So there's a possibility he might even sneak up on the midweek here or there, but should be in that starting role for sure.
Matt, what do you take out of this weekend? You go 1-1. You play 2 good teams. It's kind of a tease. You usually play 3 games on a weekend, but you are to start the season when only playing a couple of games. I thought that one thing that was impressive about the Friday night game is you jump out 3-0. They had so many times when you play in baseball, when you play in those big atmospheres with big crowds, it's hard to hold those leads, especially late in the 8th and 9th inning, and you were able to do that. You got their best shot and were able to hold on to win 3-2. I know it didn't go your way on Saturday. You dropped the tough one 2-0. But for me, I thought Friday night being able to hold that lead in a hostile environment when it gets so emotional at the end, and the reason they call them closers in baseball is because those last 3 are certainly the hardest to get in a baseball game, but your team was able to do that on Friday night. But talk about what you took out of the weekend before we turn the page on opening weekend.
Yeah, I think it was a situation where also you want to come out 2-0. You don't want to drop any games, but you can't get too result-oriented early, as tough as it is, because also you're biting for large spots. But at the end of the day, you said you hit the nail on the head. I thought we handled some things really well this weekend. We weren't overwhelmed. We weren't overmatched by the crowd or the atmosphere or the energy in the stadium. And we played in front of 5,500 on obviously Friday night, and then we played in front of, I think, maybe 450 people on Saturday. Right. So you had both extremes, and I think the energy was the same. I thought the attitude was the same. And if they can do that part of it, I think the rest of it's going to take care of itself, because I honestly believe we're talented enough. I honestly believe we're good enough to have a lot of success if we can handle those moments like we did Friday night.
If you followed our show a year ago, we started something new where we actually bring up Matt Sandifer. He leads the segment for us. He's going to talk to a couple of players. He's going to do that. We have, who's here today? Eli Johnson and Johnny Johnson, correct? Not related.
Not related.
But we have a couple of seniors that are here today. He's going to talk with Matt when we come back. So let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, you're going to hear from a couple of players right here at Black and Blue. This is Inside Southeastern Baseball with Matt Reiser, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction.
The countdown to Katy has begun. The Southland Conference Basketball Tournament at the Merrill Center in Katy, Texas. Experience it live as Southland strong teams compete for a tournament title and a chance to go to the dance. It's affordable family fun and great college hoops action. Tickets for the Southland Conference Basketball Tournament are on sale through school ticket offices and Ticketmaster.com.
What's up, Lion fans? It's Nate Big Easy Lofton of the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters, and also Southeastern Louisiana University. Can't wait to be back home March 12th in the University Center. Can't wait to see you there. Line up.
Fans to the Matt Reiser Coaches Show. I'm Matt Sandifer. If you don't recall from last year, or if this is your first time tuning in, I used to do last year, and we're going to continue it into this year, 10 to 15 minutes with select players from the team. Meet them, learn about them, learn about the team, just get an idea of who the players are, and have a little fun with the show for 10, 15 minutes. Not that the first part's not fun, just have some fun with the players. Today, our guys are Johnny Johnson. He's an infielder. He's a senior. The second player we have is Eli Johnson. So we got Johnson and Johnson today.
That's all right.
Eli's also an infielder and a senior. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Johnny. Where you from? Things like that.
I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to high school at Runnels. I played my first 2 years of college baseball at LSU Eunice. My sophomore year, we won the national championship there. Then I spent the following year at Southern, and then I transferred over to here for my final year.
Now, I had told you when you told me you were from Runnels, I'm a little familiar with that school, but I told you I would place a bet that you were the only college baseball player currently playing from Runnels. What size is that school?
When I was there, we were 2A, but then they recently moved down to Class B because of enrollment, so...
Yeah, it's a small school. You said the graduating class this year was going to be in the 20s.
Yeah,
20s. So it's a small school right there in Baton Rouge. So we got one local guy and the other guy from somewhere not so close. Where are you from, Eli?
I'm from Chehalis, Washington. I went to WF West High School. Not that anybody around here would know where that's at, but I went to Tacoma Community College my first 2 years, played baseball there. And then Reiser came up. Actually, Coach Gipp came up and came up to one of our showcases and picked up Justin Simonek, who's my roommate, and then me later in that year. So
I know that whenever you told me you're from Washington, man, we had probably 3 guys from Washington on the show last year. I know there's more players from Louisiana than Washington on the team, but it's probably not by much.
No, not by much. Yeah, it's a takeover down here. So
yeah, tell us a little about that. You were telling me, I was asking because we have so many Washington kids what the flow is, and you was explain it because I'll butcher it.
So we play in a league called the NWACS. So there's, Western and Eastern Washington has probably 10 teams. Oregon has 5 or 6 probably, and then an Idaho team and a Canada team. So we have 4 divisions: West, East, North, and South.
You said it's wood bat, right?
Wood bat, yeah.
And what age group are the kids that play there? Are they high school, or is it mainly
no freshman,
college?
sophomore in college? So it's first 2 years, yeah.
And then a lot of them probably go to like community college or smaller schools, and then they get recruited to a school
yes, sir.
like this?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. I don't know the numbers like Division I type transfers.
But you said there was a lot of them. You said you had a guy that played with you that went to Oregon State.
He went to Oregon State, plays first base at Oregon State right now. Guy from my rival JUCO, he's the starting catcher at Auburn University. So.
And who's your roommates? You said you had Justin's your roommate?
Justin's mine, yes. That's it for me.
That's it. And who's your roommates?
Daniel Dugas, pitcher for us, and Tanner Olson, football player.
Yeah, I like to ask just a couple little personal questions, so whenever the fans see y'all around, they'll know a little about y'all and have a little background. Eli, you said that your mom and dad are both school teachers. And
yes, sir.
You, when you got out of school, you wanted to, what you want to do?
Get my master's in teaching, and I'll probably do some emergency subbing right off the bat, start coaching, and then do
you said your brother was a coach already, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. He coaches a summer team. He's about to get some high school opportunities, hopefully head coaching. And
what about you, Johnny? I saw your girlfriend picture on your phone, so you're definitely dating a girl.
Yeah, she's pretty great sometimes. But no.
See, this is taped. Oh, God. She's got her picture on your phone. Somebody's sending that to her.
She's not going to hear this, though, so we're good.
So you got roommates also on the baseball team? You said you have one roommate on the team?
Yeah. Daniel Dugas, he's a pitcher. And then I'm rooming with one of our former team managers, Jackson Coletti. So
awesome. Where do I know that name from? Is there another Coletti associated, or is that just the one that I recognize?
That's probably the one you recognize.
Cool. Y'all recap the game. So I always, like to do a quick players recap because Coach gives the real, in-depth coaches recap. But, the first game, so I can't say I got 4 children and the weekends are busy. So you can give the recap for guys like me, the guys who can't invest 3 hours in listening to the game on the radio.
Yeah,
so
yes, sir.
The game 1, what was the big moments?
So I love this group. This team is awesome. I feel like the energy in the dugout's awesome. It was pretty light to start, and we kind of felt the pressure a little bit, I think, towards the middle of the game, and we were kind of stringing together good ABs. And then we broke out with that big 3-run home run by Brandon Hale, and we just started rolling after that, so that was awesome.
Good. That was Brandon, correct?
Brandon, yes, sir.
You sure?
Yes, I'm 100% sure.
All right, good deal.
So what else? So you said that basically the flow of the game was big home run for us. I'm guessing the dugout went crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They started coming back. You said Coach got a little mad in game adjustments.
Yeah.
Not big mad.
No.
Little mad. Held on. Y'all had 9th inning steal. And then how did the game end? You said they.
So there was one out, run on first, and Will made a great pitch. Connor threw it down well, and we thought we had an out at second, so strike him out, throw him out, which would have been an awesome way to end the game. And then we didn't get that out, so I can't remember exactly how the game ended. I think it might have been a strikeout. Was it a strikeout?
Close enough for me,
3.
bro.
3 pitch strikeout? Oh, 3 straight strikeouts. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. No, it was awesome.
All right. So on my portion of the game recaps, we only talk about the wins. So we're gonna skip the other one.
That's right.
Let's go straight into a couple predictions for the season because I like when the players talk about the other players. It's just fun trying to get a good. I think whenever you talk about yourself, there's a different amount of, what's the proper, there's a different amount of honesty that comes there. So let's talk about some of the other guys, man. Let's talk about a couple things that I wrote down that I told y'all, we want to know bro stats around here.
Yes, sir.
I want to know who's going to hit the most home runs this year. Who you got your money on? Who you got your money on?
I have my money on Preston Faulkner.
That's
honestly.
the same with me.
I'm taking Preston, too.
Yeah. B. Hale, he had a good weekend, so he's one up on Preston, but I think Preston's going to start finding that swing. So
yeah, he'll run him down and catch him.
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to steal the most bases? So that takes speed and being able to be on base.
Tyler Finke.
I don't think I've met him yet. What position does he play?
Infield, outfield, shortstop, and center field mainly. So
who you got?
I'm going to go not Tyler Finke. I'm going to go with Evan Keller.
Yeah. He's got the on-base piece.
He's not as fast as Tyler, but he had 6 extra bags than Tyler in the fall.
Yeah,
so.
but if Tyler gets on base, he's gonna steal probably 2 bags too. He's that fast. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Keller just has it down to a science.
Yeah, he does. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Which one of y'all's teammates is the strongest? I asked this question last year, and there was some debate. So who can pump the most iron, and who's got the country strength to throw hay bales?
Well, I think weight room strong is probably Nick Ray, but I've never seen a guy swing a bat like Preston Faulkner. It's bat speed, grip strength, just everything that comes with it. His baseball strength is off the charts. So
yeah, you kind of persuaded me on the Nick Ray one for the weight room.
You were actually thinking B. Hale for a little while. Isn't he new?
That's pound for pound.
Yeah, pound for pound is definitely B. Hale.
So pound for pound, he's a strong dude.
Yeah.
Y'all made sure to say he went at 180.
185, and he's putting up numbers that are close to Nick Ray. I mean, Nick's got 20 pounds on him probably.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Awesome, man. Who's the best student this year? Who's the smartest? Who's sitting over there in the corner crunching the numbers?
Jacob Burke.
I don't know. He's in freshman classes still, so I don't know if that really counts.
I'm joking. He got 4 point, which was a big surprise to everybody. I thought, at least to me. I mean, I'm not saying he's dumb, but he worked really hard in the classroom this year, so that was awesome. But
I mean, a lot of y'all transfer and go general studies. Do y'all have anybody studying something crazy like Coach? Y'all got any future biomedical engineers
I think
or anything?
Nick's an engineering major. Nick Ray's an engineering major.
I think Dugas is doing something with engineering too.
Is he?
I think so.
Yeah.
So y'all got a couple of them on there that can point y'all in the right direction if something happens.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, who on the team is the ladies' man? So every time I leave, there's a bunch of people waiting by the dugout. So who's going to have the most and greatest variety of girls waiting for him by the dugout throughout the season?
Hickman.
Yeah, Anthony Hickman. Probably.
Hickman's the one? He cruises
Hickman, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He cruises the scene, picks them up?
Oh, yeah, he's good at it. He's definitely good at talking to girls for sure.
He's got it down?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
How you roll like that, Eli? Let me get it from Johnny. How's Eli roll with that? He's
I think
Eli kind of struggles a little bit with that, honestly. Coming down from Washington, it's a little bit different down here, a little bit different personality. But he gets a little bit, but he has to put in a little extra work because he's kind of awkward.
He's more wingman.
I'm the nice
guy. I'm definitely more wingman type guy.
No.
So, who's got the most serious girlfriend?
Johnny.
Me. Yeah.
Johnny's got her name tattooed on him somewhere.
Yeah.
I have I'm saving money for the name tattoo on the neck right here. Yeah.
Who's the hardest thrower on the team? Let's skip. I wanted to get that. Who throws the hardest? So who? Not just like arm strength in general. Not just
pitchers,
pitching speed, but who's like stands on the outfield wall and can chunk to the plate?
Nick
Ray. Yeah, he pulled down 97 this fall, so that was pretty impressive.
I know we had a former player come, and we play in an over 35 baseball league, and dude, he threw it maybe like 85. I couldn't hardly catch it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to see 97. I'm gonna have to get him to the side and try to like dodge it.
I don't know if you want that.
All right. Well, let's call it like one more minute. Let's do one more minute. I wanted to ask you about the coaches real quick. So, last year on the first show, we did a couple little things. I want to see who's been working in the off season. So, say they joined our 35 league. I'm on the mound. Runner on second. What coach are you sending up there with a bat in his hand to try to get that run in?
Well, is this slow pitch softball or is this
regular
baseball?
Bro, it's coming in at least 64.
I'm going to have to go with Coach Caswell, to be honest.
All right, that's
the young one.
The young one.
Yeah, he's
kind of small. It
doesn't matter. He's the one that's most fresh out of the game, I feel like.
Okay. Well, practice ain't always what it is, man. Some guys just naturally got it. Who you going with?
Well, I was telling you earlier that Skip's got the bat control, but he's a little slappy up there. So I don't know if I was trying to go for driving the ball, I might have to go with the mass, and that's Coach Donnelly. So.
Nice. He did say some pop.
Yeah.
He said he wanted. So, all right. If you're my coach and you got to choose who bat against me and I need a strikeout, who you sending up?
Of the coaches?
Yeah.
You need to strike someone out?
That's Coach Kaz, got to be.
I say
his BP gets a little firm sometimes. Yeah, when that ball gets wet, he starts throwing some nasty cutters. So
you talking about him pitching. So if you needed a strikeout, you'd put him up to pitch.
Probably, yeah.
All right. If I needed a strikeout, who are you sending up there for me to strike out?
Coach Gipp.
Dude, Gipp is defending champion. I asked him. He said he's been doing some practice in the cage. He said not him this year.
It's probably Coach Gipp. Yeah.
All right, fellas. What else we got? Y'all want anything to add? We're about to be off in like 30 seconds. Anything y'all want to add? Any shout-outs? You want to give a shout-out? Mom, dad, girlfriend, brother, teammate?
Shout out to my mom, dad, my girlfriend, and Eli.
Yeah. Shout out to Johnny for sure.
All right, fellas. We're going to take a commercial break and go back to Coach, and we'll let them guys, Coach and Alan, get back to it, man. I appreciate y'all listening, and I had fun. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out.
Sure, thank you.
What do you love most about being a student athlete at Southeastern?
So I chose teammates for life because on our golf team, nobody's from the same spot, but the friendships we've made once we graduate, I know we'll always be friends, we'll always see each other, we'll always come back and visit.
The Southland Conference, 13 member institutions, over 4,200 student athletes, achieving success in the classroom while excelling in 19 NCAA Division I sports and making a difference through serving others and giving back to the community. Determination, hard work, commitment, excellence, and collaboration. Together, we are Southeastern!
All right, welcome back. This is Inside Southeastern Baseball with Matt Reiser, presented by the Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Black & Brew, right here on the Southeastern Sports Network. I want to thank Eli Johnson, Johnny Johnson, and Matt Sandler for coming up, spending some time. We're going to be doing that every week. You'll get an opportunity to be introduced to some of the Lion players and get an in-depth personality. If you just listened or watched, you see it's not just normal questions about the game like we do. They're asking them some in-depth questions and scenarios, so it's a lot of fun. So be sure to look forward to that all year long. We're joined back now by the head baseball coach of your Southeastern Lions, Coach Matt Reiser. And Matt, 4 games this week, all at home. I know you're excited to open up the home schedule tomorrow night against UL Lafayette. So you're going to play a team you just played on Friday, and that's it for them, right? So we play them Tuesday, and we don't play them again the rest of the season.
2 of the first 3, and that's it, man. Nothing else after that. So obviously they'll be out for a little revenge from Friday night. And, the biggest thing for us, you talked about the 4 games at home. The one thing where probably had some disappointment last year was playing at home. I mean, obviously we played a tough schedule, but at the end of the day, we didn't defend the Pat. We had an opportunity to win a conference championship against Sam. Obviously, the Pat last year didn't do it.
One on Friday.
Yeah, one on Friday. Got swept there on Saturday, and we had plenty of games there that we just didn't play well and just didn't finish some games off. So I told the guys that was going to be like number one thing this year. We've got to go back to defend the Pat. We've always been really, really good at home. We've got a great environment. We've got great fans that come out to support us, and I tell the guys this all the time, and obviously the fans the same thing, that when they come out there and they energize that stadium, man, we play at a different level. We go at a different speed. So it's time to get back to defend that Pat and make sure that fan base stays what it is all the way through the season.
Well, Matt, looking at the weather, it could be a factor tomorrow. I know this weekend looks pretty good. Have y'all looked any preliminary? I know the baseball coaches are more like weathermen than anything else. They're always looking ahead. But I know that we could have some weather in the area tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, as long as we don't have the weatherman record, then we'll be all right. That'll get you fired in a heartbeat for that kind of record. But we'll adapt. Obviously, the bright thing of this, we've got the turf infield,
right.
So we've gotten a lot of rain here in the last 48 hours. Saturday night, obviously all day yesterday, but it's a little soft out in the outfield. But at the end of the day, man, we're going to go ahead and try to get it in. I mean, there's no reason not to. It's preseason stuff. We're both trying to still find out who our teams are, and we need to get as much innings logged as possible. So as long as it's not downpouring and storming, we should be out there tomorrow night.
Do they play Wednesday?
They do not play Wednesday.
So I mean, that is a possibility.
Have the opportunity. Yep, if we need to. So we'll I think they're at home this weekend.
Pitching plans for tomorrow night.
We're going to start the left-hander freshman Dalton Rogers. Had a really nice preseason. Had some things through the fall he kind of worked through, but a lot of resemblance to Trey Schaefer. We were extremely high on recruiting and getting Dalton Rogers. He was a dandy dozen just like Schaefer. Last time out, I think his average fastball was 89, was up to 92, and can do some things that can manipulate the baseball very similar to the way Schaefer does with it, with the spin rates and everything else. Can spin the baseball. He's got 4 pitches for strikes. So, it'll be a fun one to watch him go out there as a true freshman and do his deal.
Yeah, he was outstanding. His high school career is tremendous. 11-1 as a senior, 12-0 as a junior. Went to Northwest Rankin. I know they play good baseball.
Absolutely.
In that part of the state of Mississippi, no doubt. So you'll get an opportunity to see freshman Dalton Rogers tomorrow against UL Lafayette. Then it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Again, right here at the Pat in Hammond. You're going to take on Jacksonville University. In recent memory, I don't remember them being on the schedule, so this is a new opponent for us. But talk about Jacksonville and what they bring to the table.
Yeah, a good club, man, well-coached club. Their guy got in there probably about 5 years ago and really kind of got that thing back up and going. They made a regional a few years ago, and then this is their club. They're extremely veteran, a lot of older upperclassmen, some redshirt seniors in there, along with some redshirt juniors. So they've got a bunch of 4- and 5-year-old guys, 5-year guys that have been there. and on the mound and position player-wise. So I knew their assistant very, very well before he left to take the assistant job at Notre Dame. And he said, hey, man, I'm going to be honest with you. This is the team we circled to be our regional club, win the conference, maybe make some noise and make a run at Omaha. Yeah. They had opening weekend, ended up losing 2 out of 3 to West Virginia, who's top 30 in the country. I think Friday night they lost 4-3. They won Saturday, I think 3-1, and then lost yesterday 2-1. So some tight ball games, well-pitched ball club. You're going to see one of the top draft prospects in the country on Friday night with the Palmer kid. He'll run up some 96s, 97s with a slider. So, yeah, it'll be another challenging weekend for us. With Jacksonville, they should be a pretty good club that should be able to come in and give us a good look.
All right, sorry about that. A little technical difficulties right here. But, Matt, so for you, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I know this week was a short week. We only played Friday and Saturday. What's your weekend rotation? If you had to pencil it in right now, I know Trey's going to go on Friday night.
Yeah, we're going to roll Schaefer back out there for Friday and then kind of see how everything else works out there for Saturday and Sunday. We're going to see where Fletridge is. He'll probably be out for another week and really see how tomorrow night plays out. We're going to throw a few freshmen out there. We'll have the transfer and Daniel Dugas come out of the bullpen, I'm sure, for us. And so see how they handle the moment. Obviously, I think tomorrow's going to be a lot of energy, very similar to how it was in Friday night. There at ULL. I'm sure we'll repay the favor from a fan base standpoint with Lion Nation. So see how they handle those moments. And if they handle those moments really, really well, then obviously maybe we make a start with Will Warren on Saturday. If not, maybe we keep kind of wheeling that back in for us to finish some things off until the following week or until we get to conference.
All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and take our final break. When we come back, we'll get Matt's final thoughts of the afternoon, and we'll wrap it up right here on Inside Southeastern Baseball with Matt Reiser, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Black & Brew on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
The countdown to Katy has begun. The Southland Conference Basketball Tournament at the Merrill Center in Katy, Texas. Experience it live as Southland strong teams compete for a tournament title and a chance to go to the dance. It's affordable family fun and great college hoops action. Tickets for the Southland Conference Basketball Tournament are on sale through school ticket offices and Ticketmaster.com.
What's up, Lion fans? It's Nate Big Easy Lofton of the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters and also of Southeastern Louisiana University. Can't wait to be back home March 12th in the University Center. Can't wait to see you there. Line up.
All right, welcome back. We're live here at Black & Brew. We have about 5 minutes left to go on our show. I want to thank all that have tuned in with us today, whether on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network or also on the stream on the Southeastern Sports Network. If you're just catching us and say, hey, what have they been talking about for the last 50 minutes or so, you can go back on YouTube and you can type in Southeastern Sports Network and pull up this episode. That'll be up later today, and you can watch this this broadcast as well, so you can go back and watch that. Lions have 4 games this week. It'll start tomorrow night against UL Lafayette right here in Hammond at the Pat, and then they welcome in Jacksonville on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hopefully the weather cooperates. I know the temperature is supposed to go down, so it could be a little cool here in Hammond over the weekend. But Lions went 1-1 this first weekend. They beat number 24 ranked UL Lafayette 3-2 on Friday night, dropped a tough one to Louisiana Tech on Saturday, 2-0. But, Matt, we just have a couple of minutes left to go here on our show. And I mentioned it earlier, again, beginning of the year, from a fan's perspective, what you want to see is obviously new roles for guys that were with the team a year ago, and then new faces. And we saw a lot of new faces for your team over the weekend. Maybe some guys that we didn't see that we will see. Can you give some of the fans some info to that, maybe that we'll see this week or this weekend that we didn't see a whole lot against UL or against Louisiana Tech?
Yeah, I mean, should see a lot of the new arms tomorrow. In all honesty, I mean, of the 5 core guys we talked about coming back, they all through this weekend.
Yeah.
So you'll see a mixture of some guys. We've transitioned Trey Harrington into a role on the mound as well.
Wow.
Take him off third base. So tomorrow night, Eli will get the start there at third base, and we'll take Trey and put him in the bullpen and let him kind of finish things off. Also, you see the big arm strength going across the diamond. We put him on the mound a few times. The big arm strength translates to the mound. Sometimes it doesn't, but this one it does, and it's got some serious life to it. So it could be some similarities with Chris Franklin back in the day, the All-American two-way player we had. So I'm glad we made that decision to hopefully give us some more depth there in the bullpen. So, yes, you'll see a lot of those arms tomorrow. And then, like you said, as the season rolls along, some guys will get some more opportunities. I wouldn't want to do it, but if we absolutely had to do it and we had to run out basically an all-freshman team or all-underclassmen team, we'd take some, licks on the chin maybe early, but we'd get some things figured out pretty quickly. And I think by the end of the year could win, 30, 35 games with an all-freshman club. So some of those guys are gonna mix in, like you saw Garcia there on Saturday in the outfield. Obviously, Burke has been in that DH for us, but some other guys you can see back there. Bryce Grzafi has really come on strong as of late behind the dish. You can see him a little bit behind the plate. There's a few more of those outfielders that could mix in as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes and see how some things play out. But overall, man, I think the true test and the true evaluation of week one is how did we compete. I thought we competed well. How did we handle ourselves in pressure situations? I thought we handled ourselves well. I thought we handled ourselves maturely. And so at the end of the day, I think that's all you can ask for. And also we'll see how we respond. I think that's the biggest thing. Also got the nice win there on Friday night and all hunky-dory until Saturday. Also we get beat Saturday night coming back. So unusual, uncharacteristic to have a day off there on Sunday. It was kind of eating at me not to be able to get back on the field. I had to wait a few days to come back out. But let's see the energy, how they bounce back tomorrow night and this week.
Matt, you alluded to it just a moment ago when you talked about Trey Harrington maybe being a candidate for this, but you're a coach, and this is a program that uses a closer.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
and is that where are you at with that? I mean, who are the names that are up for that position?
Yeah, we had signed Landon Clifton out of LSU Unis, who pitched for them, was their closer for 2 years and played for their national championship team his freshman year. He's been down, been out, so obviously next man up, next man to kind of stand in and find a role. So Noah Hughes, we saw him Saturday night come in. He'll be in that role a little bit. Trey Harrington will be in that role a little bit. And then, at the end of the day, if Simonek throws as well as he did on Saturday, maybe he rolls into the rotation. We'll see what Rogers does tomorrow night. Maybe that ends up being your rotation. And Will Warren ends up being your stopper more than a closer, where he's coming in and finishing ball games like he did with 3 inning outings and 4 inning outings.
Well, Matt, we've been talking for about an hour now, and kind of what I've got out of this conversation is we still got a lot to figure out.
Absolutely.
That this thing could look totally different than it did on opening weekend in 3 or 4 weeks from now.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what happens when you get 23 new guys.
Right.
I think the biggest thing, they're buying in the way they're supposed to buy in, and they're showing the grit that they need to show. So it's always fun to open up a new year, kind of obviously see what everybody in the league's doing and around college baseball, some guys that maybe you recruited and they're at other places and trying to see how they're playing out. So I think we're getting to the point to where obviously next 2 or 3 weeks we'll figure it out before conference gets here for sure.
Well, that's Matt Rosser, the head baseball coach of your Southeastern Lions, as we're out of time. Again, Lions this week will take on UL Lafayette tomorrow night right here at the Pat, and then this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come on out. Southeastern does it as good as anybody as far as home game experience.
Absolutely.
We want you to be a part of that all week as you have 4 opportunities to do it right here in Hammond. So we're out of time. For Coach Matt Rosser, I'm Alan Waddell. We'll see you next time on Inside Southeastern Baseball, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Black & Brew on the Southeastern Sports Network.